All right, guys. I am so sorry I am late. Thought I could get out of work a little bit earlier than I was able to. So I apologize about that. But man, pumped to be here. We got a ton of things to talk about. Sean Lewis, we've been expecting this the last handful of weeks. That'd be going somewhere. It's another head coach, another offensive coordinator. And it looks like he's on his way to San Diego State. Wonderful news for him. Now, I'll get to that, talk about that a little bit, get to your comments. We'll talk about some of your ideas. Who do you want to see as the offensive coordinator? Y'all were telling me on Twitter today that I got to look at Brennan Marion, UNLV offensive coordinator. And I remember in the chat, y'all were telling me about that maybe a week or two ago as well. Now, I do also want to say, I got a very important announcement. Skip Bayless Jr. Man, you guys are cracking me up. But yeah, I have a big announcement. Matt McChesney is going to be coming on the show. Coach Matt McChesney, he's going to be coming on the show. I'm thrilled about this, guys. And I think it's funny, man. I turn on my Twitter and man, last night just blown up. Them getting put on blast by 13-year-olds, being called a weasel. That just comes with the territory, right? But yeah, I guess we got into a little Twitter spat, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's a beef. And I actually, I'm a huge fan of Matt McChesney, and I listen to a lot of what he says, even before this year. So I messaged him maybe a few months ago, wondering if he would ever come on the show. And, it's not how I drew it up, but he's going to come on the show. We can talk about maybe our little disagreement with, his appearance on the Whitlock show, all that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get to hear from his perspective all about that. And I mean, there's a lot that I want to ask him. There's a lot that I want to ask him about special teams, help understand that a little bit better. Of course, talking about the offensive line, some recruiting. Again, what I love about Matt McChesney is, sure, can he be critical? Do I agree with everything that he says? No, there's not anybody that I agree with everything they say, but he wants this thing to be successful. So I'm really looking forward to interviewing him tomorrow. He'll probably bust my balls a little bit up front, but I think it should be a lot of fun. And I really hope you guys tune in. I'll take some super chats and anything that comes from the video, whether that's super chats or with the ads. I'm going to go ahead and donate that to the 5430 Foundation. I thought that would be a lot of fun because we both want this program to succeed. And we're not an ATM, but we got to be giving that money away, right? We got to be doing that. So let's just get to it. Justin Blatt, good to see you. Did the Lakers get the win yesterday? I didn't even see. One thing I like about you, Dave, is that you're authentic. Like, you're not going to lie about being from Colorado because you are from there. And you're not going to BS me about who's coming. Yeah. We have the 60th something ranked class right now. I expect it to get better, but guys, I don't have sources and I don't actively talk to players and recruits and all that. That's just not my thing. I will comment on the class as it develops and we'll see what type of result it is. Some of these chats for no apparent reason are all lying about what's going on with the Colorado staff. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm not really one to, I can have some fun, but I'm not really one. Sometimes I can find myself, I guess, in the middle of drama sometimes. But at the end of the day, I like having fun. I like talking about this team, speculating what's going on. And, that's really it. And again, I started this for fun. I never expected it to grow the way that it has. It just is what it is. And then lastly, did you take a look at the portal? There seems to be some starters for the offensive line that are in there. Hopefully Colorado will get 3 or 4 of them. I mean, we need all of them. Again, what I'm looking forward to next is, now that Sean Lewis is gone, I would expect Bill Boyle to follow him over there from San Diego State. Then we get to see who's going to be the next offensive coordinator here. And then the O-line coach after that, right? Isn't that normally how this works? We'll see who that is. There are a lot of guys that I think could be really good fits here, but I will say, um, not every coach, even the great ones like Bill Belichick or whatnot, they don't always make the right hire at coordinators. But I do expect Coach Prime needs to get these coordinators right. He needs to get them right. He needs to get this offensive line coach hire right because we can't afford to go through what we went through this past year. We were too close to winning so many more games that we can't have this thing happen again like that, right? Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun coming on here. So, and getting the chance to interview him. He's always been one of the guys that I've wanted to talk to. So, I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And yeah, I think like sometimes I'll say this, man. I seen people. It was like, man, once Matt McChesney called me out, man. I see everybody on Twitter taking a side, and it's like, guys, it's okay. No, it's okay. Let's not cut each other down. We'll communicate. We'll handle our business in front of the camera tomorrow. I think it should be great. But again, I still maintain this. I'm a huge fan of Matt's. So yeah, y'all don't be calling him a snake or anything like that, even if he's got some different opinions than you. I just didn't like one thing that he did. Okay. Byron Leftwich as OC, absolutely. I think that would be great. Again, the biggest question with him is how's he going to recruit? I would hope that guys like Warren Sapp and Byron Leftwich, if he comes here, that these guys are going to be committed to recruiting. But that is an unknown right now. Bodie, good to see ya. And of course, Skip Bayless Jr. I love that nickname. Um, you guys just cracked me up. Nice. I heard him say something about you today. It probably wasn't the best, but that's okay. Again, I'm just trying to have fun with all this, and I think it. Again, did I think that's how I was ever going to get him? Like how this whole interview thing would have happened? No, but I mean, life comes at you fast, right? Oh, we got a super chat from Bodie. Thanks again. David, do you think Coach Prime is going to give in to paying these 4 and 5 star trench players? I think if he wants to, compete at this level, he's going to have to. We need that NIL money. We need it. And this is what I have an issue with some people that have much larger platforms than mine are coming out and saying that Coach Prime, he's just flip flopping. One day he's saying he's not going to be an ATM. The next day he's saying, he needs all the money for NIL. Like it can be both and thing. Like I think he wants people that want to come here to be part of this team and what's going on. And he has always said, we will look to make them comfortable. He hasn't ever said that he'd come out and be okay with paying guys to come for visits out here. Like those are different things. I don't understand why. Man, you guys are cracking me up. I forgot what I was saying. My dog Dave, you be on some chill shit, bro. Can't hate at all, even though I troll. Hey, and again, the Dave Talks Bus family. It's great for fans, diehards, trolls, all that. Y'all just don't be saying, terrible things to each other. But we can be one dysfunctional family together. Sorry about your Lakers, Justin Black. Saw the highlights. I'm gonna knock your team, bro, but that was a good old butt kicking. Hey, and how about the Nuggets? With basically their backups, man, knocking down the Clippers, man. We own the Clippers franchise. But let's go ahead and take a look at Brendan Marion. I'm just going to go here for a little bit because I have my story time with Colin Moore tonight, and I'll put out a link. It's already there on my channel for my interview with Matt McChesney tomorrow. So make sure to hit that bell notification for that. But I mean, you guys are right. Like, and I'm not spending enough time on this. Sean Lewis, like I had said, Sean Lewis, I like Sean Lewis, but at the end of the day, it didn't work out. That's okay. I have my ideas for why it did. or why it didn't work out is what it is. But I've always said I think he'll be a better coach from this moving forward, as well as Bill O'Boyle. I think they both will. It just wasn't working here. It just wasn't working here. We need somebody in here where it is going to work for whatever reasons. So I would expect there to be some guys from this team that follow Sean Lewis over to San Diego State, just like there is when there's any hire done. So y'all don't be freaking out if something like that happens. Again, Ryan Staub out there, that could be kind of interesting. We have a pretty deep running back room, a pretty deep wide receiver room, all of that. So there might be a few guys that follow Sean Lewis out to San Diego State. So we'll have to see if that happens. But that might open up more spots to bring in some more transfer portal guys, and we'll see how it goes. But at the end of the day, the transfer portal, we have to focus on the trenches. But if we're going to make this thing work with another round of the transfer portal, another transfer portal heavy class, we definitely just need that coach to develop them, to utilize them, and an offensive coordinator that's going to call the plays and have a scheme that caters towards the strengths of the players that they have on the team. We got to get more creative. Alpharo, good to see you. San Diego State ended ranked higher than CU. Do you think CU will be ranked higher than SDSU next year? Man, they better be. That's my hope. That's my hope. Now, do I think SDSU would have that same ranking if they played the schedule that we played this year? What was that, a top 5 schedule? And Arizona State had an even harder schedule than we did. And people they're wanting to fire Kenny Dillingham already. No, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a bright, promising coach. Just let that process play out a little bit for our Arizona State fans that are in here. Mitch B, what was the reason for not wanting to coach in the NFL? Are you talking about Coach Prime? So some of this is speculation on my part. I guess I'll start with what he said. He's not about coaching millionaires and guys that make more money than he does, which I can understand. Now, I think like Coach Prime, I just feel like how he's wired, he's more built for college football. Does he want to be taking, orders from, what's his name? The owner of the Carolina Panthers, David Tepper, who just fired Frank Reich after how many games? I don't know. Prime doesn't need to deal with that BS. With the NFL, they run through head coaches like every 2-3 years for most of the teams, and I just don't think that's his thing. Now, again, I want him to be here for a real long time. Will that happen? I don't know, but I hope it does. I hope it does because I like where this thing is going, and I don't want to see it stop. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. He's never been somebody that stays in one place for too long, but I'm hoping that we can be the exception. The tranquility of the mountains is something that, it's hard to leave once you live in it. What's up, Tremaine? Good to see you. Didn't Sean Lewis average 32 points per game when he was the OC? Why do you think it didn't work out? Well, our quarterback finished with a broken back. I think that's one reason. And, he's the star player. He's also the coach. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, but I think that once there were some games for teams to study, it just didn't, we didn't make the appropriate adjustments. We never established a run game. And again, I got a lot of questions because Sean Lewis ran a lot of different sets during different years at Kent State. So why was there no adjustment? Did he not feel like we had the tight ends to run some of that? Because, Mikey Harrison isn't a blocking kind of tight end. Maybe so. Again, I don't expect us to ever get answers for that, but all I know is that while he was offensive coordinator, while he was calling plays, um, uh, the offense got figured out over time, and we didn't make the appropriate adjustments to keep that thing rolling. And yeah, Shador ended up taking a lot of hits. I don't think it was very sustainable. And sadly, guys, I feel like the changing point was in that Stanford game, really. And, we thought, wow, this team's finally getting off to that hot start that we've been clamoring for the whole year. And then, um, that Stanford collapse, bad taste in our mouth. And then how I felt, we can go and beat UCLA because we got a bye week. We're going to get things right on the defense and offensive end. And then what happens? Our defense kicks butt, but our offense, I think, they played terrible. And yeah, I don't know. I know there's 32 points per game. It's definitely good, and it's definitely been a lot better than what we've had in years past with the offense. But I would say too, it also has to go with to do with the way it looked in a sense of just hit after hit after hit. I think our talent made up for our bad scheming and play calling for some of these games. Um, I don't really know, but yeah, I know the data's there. I mean, we didn't have the worst ranked offense. I think maybe we ended up around in the 60s, so about average within college football this year, which is again, that's a big time improvement from where we were at last year. But I think there was a lot more potential of where this offense could have gone. And I think Sean Lewis is also leaving because I think he shares some responsibility as well for the offensive line for not scheming around the weaknesses. And also, he was the one who brought in the offensive line coach. Again, this is something that I look forward to hopefully talking with Matt McChesney about. It just, how do you coach these guys up to get a better performance? Because I feel like, again, imagine what would have happened this year if Shador had the 80th ranked line. Okay. I'm not even saying this is a good line. I'm just saying, what if the performance wasn't absolutely terrible, like worst in college football terrible, right? What would have happened? And I think that they were kind of a pair, and it just the team seemed disjointed. That's just kind of my read on it. But at the end of the day, sometimes people aren't the right fit in certain places. And I I wish Sean Lewis all the success. I think he'll be a better coach because of all this. Um, but yeah, we need somebody in here that where we're not going to have those issues, where this offense is going to run like a well-oiled machine. But no excuses, no excuses after this. All right, guys, going to go here for just a few more minutes, but I wanted to go ahead and share my screen. Brennan Marion. This is a guy that you guys have brought up as being one guy that you would see you to really consider for being offensive coordinator. And UNLV has had some bad years, but they had a great offense this year in the Mountain West. Right now, he's the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Calls it the go-go offense. So maybe we study that a little bit this offseason if he's hired here. But he has some great experience. He was the passing game coordinator last year at Texas, and he's been at a lot of other really good schools. He has a lot of different experience. He's coached both quarterbacks and wide receivers, and then he also has some head coaching experience as well at the high school level. So I think that's great too. And I think Steve Sarkisian, he's a great guy to work for. I think Texas has a fantastic offense, and definitely last year. I mean, Quinn Ewers was killing it last year, and I'm sure he had something to do with it. So, y'all let me know if you can think offhand what the UNLV ranking is, but in terms of offense. But this would be something that would really excite me from an offensive coordinator perspective, because I would like us to go get somebody that has, a future, big time future in coaching. I know that some of y'all have like brought up the idea of um, like Pat Shermer staying on or whatever, and that's just not my thing. Like, I feel like he's coming to the end of his coaching career, so let's get somebody who's hungry, who's chomping at the bit to get to work on an offense like this and see what he can do, and work his way up. That's what I'd like to see. Lamar, thanks for chiming in. Rumors about Staub, Hopkins, and Zelenskis are leaving with Sean Lewis. Okay. Well, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. That would be interesting. And guys, I do want to say, I felt like Hank did a better job this past game than he did definitely in Colorado State. So credit to him. But I'm a little bummed we didn't get to see any Adam Hopkins this year. But Ryan Staub, if he has an opportunity to go and compete and get that starting job over there, he should absolutely do it. He should play. You only have a finite number of years to be on a college football team, and he needs to be taking advantage of opportunities to play, no doubt. So thanks for that super chat, Lamar. Again, really appreciate you guys. I'll be back here with my story time with Colin in just a little bit. So yeah, here in like 30 minutes. So I'm sorry I couldn't get to all your comments. But y'all are just cracking me up. But I'll be back here in a bit, and I got a lot to talk with Colin about. We got to hear about this Georgia channel he started, right? So until then, guys, hit that like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Really looking forward to what I have set up for you guys for the rest of the week. See you in 30, and Sco Buffs.